And we're back for another exciting week of the Creators Collective. And thank you for joining us. This week is going to be a special week because we have the Sultan of Salvage, the King of Pallets, the what was the other one?
Totally lost your momentum there.
Yes, I did. The Prince of Footwear, Paul Jackman himself, is on as a guest again. Since we don't have Will on this week, Paul, we figured you'd be our new co-host since you've come on before, and we'll just bring you on more regularly now.
Yeah, I got to make up for Will's lack of pallet wood use anyway.
True.
So thanks for coming along. And this week we're going to be, picking Paul's brain and having a little bit of fun here. I do want to say a huge thank you to our patrons on Patreon. Thank you for that. If you want to help us out, you can go to patreon.com/Creators Collective. And you can listen to this show every Thursday live on our YouTube channel, or listen to it as a podcast on all the normal locations where you listen to podcasts. I do want to say a huge thank you to our top patrons, Darren Mates, Caleb Harris of You Can Make This Too, and John from John Made It. Thank you so much. And let's get on with the show. So, Paul, what you been up to?
Paul?
Sorry, I was just opening up the live stream, and I had two Jameses talking to me at the same time.
Uh-oh.
Did you ask me what I was up to?
Yeah, what you got going on?
Okay, sorry about that. I currently just finished up a bowl turning that I've been working on for a wedding present for a wedding this weekend. So I've been teasing that on my Instagram without trying to show it off too much because the bride and groom follow me over there. So it's been a lot of kind of close-up teaser shots, and did a little bit of epoxy segments in there. So I dyed some epoxy and actually like planed it down as if it was a board, and cut them up into segments. Then included that in the bowl, and did some power carving with the bowl too. So that's going to be it came out really good. It's going to be a fun video too. And the latest video before that was another power carving project because I just can't help myself.
I need to come up with something because Arbortech got a hold of me, and I guess they're doing another woodworking show down here in Tampa this year, and they want me to come up with something to build. So
there you go.
Up, man. I am like, oh my gosh, like since the vacation, I've just had so many orders and stuff that I'm trying to fulfill. This is why I don't normally get into production. Like I don't necessarily like batching things out and selling them often, but it gives me a good, like I'm having so much fun like forging these hammers, and so I've been taking orders and stuff from people, and it's still fun, and it's a good way to essentially to pay myself to learn how to get better at doing this stuff. But man, I've made I think I've made 12 in the past week. So and that's the hammers and the handles and dyeing them and all that stuff. So I think I've been putting in like 10, 12-hour days for a week. So I finally finished them all up yesterday. Man, it's I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that's a lot. I've been seeing you bashing those out on Instagram.
I'm sure people are so sick of seeing my Instagram. It's like every
Hammers are us.
Like it's funny because you can see like when I first started posting them, like it's getting like 1,000, 1,200 likes per thing now. Now I post pictures and they're like a couple hundred. People are like, "Yeah, we're done. We've lost."
We get it, Zach.
What's that?
Say we get it, Zach.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's where my interest and my inspiration is at right now. So I'm into it. Probably not everybody else is, but at least for the time being. And a lot of people, they've been sending me messages like, "Man, so is this what you do now?" I'm like, "Well, it's what I'm doing right now." I don't know. I feel like I like going off in tangents. It keeps things interesting. It's different enough from. This is kind of like what we're going to be doing a talk on. For those of you who don't know, Paul and I are going to be doing a talk at Workbench Con about how would you summarize it? I'm sure you could say it more succinctly than me.
It's very hard to say succinctly, but it's basically the anti-Workbench Con talk.
It's true.
So we're basically, everyone at Workbench Con it's a conference for, influencers and aspiring influencers, and it's all about kind of optimizing every aspect of everything you do on the internet. And we're kind of talking about the opposite of that and saying, you know, that's all well and good, but you can't forget your roots and forget where you came from and why you're doing it in the first place. Because we all, you know, a lot of us have quit our jobs to do this full time because we enjoyed it and we don't want it to become a job again.
Yeah.
What was the name of your talk?
F the formula.
Yeah. That's the premise of our talk. Everybody, it was after the workbench con last year, which was really good, but I just felt like it missed on, you know, you went down the notes for all the talks, and it was like 10 ways to optimize your Instagram, how to get more of this, how to do this, here's the formula for this, the steps to six. Every talk was, not that they were bad, there's a lot of good information there, but I felt like the inspiration, or like the you know, like there's this whole other aspect that was missing. Nobody was giving a talk about, like, we started this because we enjoy doing it. A lot of us quit our jobs and took a pay cut. We were so sick of spreadsheets and Office and this and that, and you know, I just felt like that there was no creativity. You know, I feel like for a lot of people, making stuff, like, it is. I never considered myself an artist or anything like that, but like, it really is art. I mean, building something, like coming up with a design, putting it together, like creating things, like that's art. And I feel like none of that was expressed in the workbench con. It was all formulas and math and steps and procedures and algorithms. And so I guess that, you know, what we wanted to hit on, or what we plan to talk about, is like, keep this fun. Like, why you got into it. Don't turn this into something you hate. Don't turn this into math. Don't turn this into spreadsheets. It's not that it's bad to have that stuff in mind, but like, don't have fun with it. If you enjoy it, you'll succeed, and you'll stay motivated, and you'll keep that inspiration going. So that was a long roundabout to get back to my original point, which is, right now, like, I'm having a lot of fun forging hammers and learning the process and perfecting it and that sort of thing. So my inspiration is there. I don't, you know, so that's what I'm chasing right now, and it's eventually it's going to come full circle. Like, I plan on learn stuff, and I take that and I'm going to go back and I'm going to combine those skills with my metal fabrication and my woodworking, and maybe, you know, forge some furniture and all this sort of thing. It doesn't, you know, I don't think
You can never tell what that next one is going to be until you get there.
exactly. And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think everything has to be cohesive. I think when you worry too much about, like, oh, well, this is what people expect me, if you paint yourself into a corner, then you're denying yourself, like, all of those all of the other corners. Like, you know, I think it's corny, but like, variety is the spice of life. Like, just go out there and, like, explore and chase things that interest you, and, you know, hopefully it'll all come together at some point.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just kind of get lucky with, you know, finding something that people like that you also enjoy doing. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny, and I've probably said this a whole bunch, but so I'm 34, and like, I spent 30, you know, up until I was probably 32 is when I quit my job, because I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't get into making stuff or woodworking for the money. Like, when I quit my job, it was terrifying. I thought, you know what? I don't care about money anymore. I am miserable. I'm not happy. I'm depressed. I hate my job, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just want to do something I enjoy every day. And if I have enough money to feed myself and pay my rent, I'm happy. And I didn't know if I would. I did not quit my job because I thought I would make money doing this. This was the first thing after 32 years. The first thing that I said, you know what? I'm going to do this because I want to, not because of money. Everything else I did, every job I worked, you know, when I went to school, everything I did was to try and make money and be successful. And I finally got so sick of that. I just said, you know what? I just want to do what I enjoy for a living. And that was 2 years ago. And now I am more successful than I've ever been. I'm happier than I've ever been. I make better money than I've ever made. And, you know, I'm excited to wake up every day. So I mean, that's my story of I don't know. I don't do things for the money. I do them anymore. I do it because I enjoy it and I want to enjoy my life before it's over,
Mhm.
That's
But what do you really think, Zach? Cool. Well, you got
I
anything
guess the
else
key
going on?
is to find something that works, something
exactly.
that makes you happy and is, at least somewhat profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, it hurts me to see people doing things because of like ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think, even if it works, I don't think it's not going to work indefinitely. You're gonna get yourself into a spot that you don't want to be in.
Well, and eventually, if it doesn't work and what you're doing isn't panning out, then you can go back and get a job.
Yeah, that's true. You can always do that.
The
Yeah,
downside is right where you're at. So
that's exactly how I stumbled into it. Like I kind of fell into the whole YouTube thing by accident. My wife joined the military and we had to move and I had to quit my job. So I was like, well, let's give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, I'll get a job. So I haven't had to get a job since.
cool. So you got anything else going on, Zach?
No, I
Other
don't
than
think so. I've
hammers?
just been making hammers, and I just finished them up yesterday. I have to sew up some bags for them. I think presentation is just it's so much better to get something that's like neatly packaged. I know that's really dumb, but like, I mean, do you guys agree with me? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, rather than just like opening a box and like there's a thing, it's so cool to like have to open things like 2 or 3 times to get to them. It just like makes it more expensive.
The anticipation builds.
Packaged like 4 times. Um, no, so I hopefully gonna get that stuff shipped out today or tomorrow, as well as some shirts that I've been meaning to get out. I try and consolidate my post office runs, so sometimes people have to wait a little bit. But that, and then I'm going up to assist in Jimmy DiResta's blacksmithing class that he's doing. Let's see, I'm flying up there on the 8th, and I think it goes through the 12th. I think it's probably like the 9th and 10th or 10th and 11th. I don't even know what days it is, but there's going to be a handful of people up there. So actually, I think Chad is in the chat from Mancrafting. He probably knows what days the classes officially happen because he's going to be there.
Yeah, he was just saying that in the chat. No reason to ship. I'll be there.
Exactly. Yeah, I still have a handful of them to ship out. So I'm going to be up there. I know my buddy and like, I guess my mentor, Cliff Dufton, is going to be up there for a day or two as well. He's the guy who kind of taught me how to do what I'm doing. So that'll be fun. Yeah. So that's kind of it's what's in store for me.
Sweetness.
Yeah.
Well, I've been working on the table.
I saw that.
And hopefully next week's podcast I'll be able to say, hey, I finished the table. So I'm really getting excited. Last week I finished all the base and took that upstairs, and then I finished the underside of the table, and I was planning on having a friend come over and help me flip the table over so I could finish the top of it. But he had a thing come up and I couldn't find anyone else to do it. So I had to actually rig up a hoist system in my basement to lift up the top so I could flip it and put it back down. And that was an interesting one. I have a video of that on my Instagram. And me and a 400-pound slab.
That thing's 400 pounds.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to get squashed with that. Man.
No, I have it because it's kind of an archway, so it's thinnest in the middle.
Under the slab for like 2 hours. So people were like, somebody call for help.
I thought about doing it on a live stream, so just in case something went wrong, someone could call. But
yeah, I was waiting for like Instagram stories or something from James under the slab.
Yeah.
It's been like streaming for 3 hours. That's funny.
No, it worked out pretty well, but I flipped over and did some of the epoxy touch-up that I needed to do, stabilizing the edge because there was a bit of a punky section on one of the edges that I need to harden up. But I did a little bit of the scraping yesterday, so I last time I had the top up, I coated it in epoxy to fill in all of the bug holes and all the little voids. And so now I have to go back through and scrape off all the epoxy off the top. And it's bringing back memories of scraping the dining room floor. It's going to be fun.
So the Chad just commented in the chat, the class is Saturday and Sunday, which is the 10th and 11th of November.
Woot woot.
So yeah.
Making me jealous on that one.
Should be a lot of fun. There's going to be some talented people up there, and I'm just excited to actually like get a few days of winter. Actually, wear pants. It's always fun for me.
I know I've had to break out the flannel this last week.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's starting to get chilly.
It's kind of nice. It's not really cold, but it's usually been around 40 to 50, so it's pretty good.
We got down to like 70 degrees a couple of days ago, and it was really nice without humidity. Very enjoyable.
Well, we have a couple questions from the chat for Paul. Make Brooklyn has a very interesting question here. What kind of boots does Paul recommend for woodworkers in their home shop?
I highly recommend my Carolina flip-flops. They're invisible steel toe. So it's kind of a nice feature.
I thought you were going to go with wooden clogs.
I actually have an idea. I want to make some wooden clogs, and I got to pick your brain about that. It's going to be. I got a little spin that I'm going to put on it.
Make some wooden knee-high boots.
Not quite.
I like it. I like it.
Carolina shoes, baby.
So, any plans?
A coupon code in the chat if people want it.
Do it.
So what's your next big tool you're going to make?
I got something coming up.
Table saw.
I have a big tool, and I'm not going to share it yet, but it's going to be epoxy and metal.
Ooh. So how many pallets have you actually used over your life?
I don't know. At least 100.
It's a lot.
Easy. Yeah. My workbenches by themselves, I have a pair of workbenches, and that was 21 or 22 pallets.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat was saying that he used reclaimed. What was that, Zach?
So where do you source your pallets from, Paul?
Right now I have, it's called the Exchange. It's a store right on the military base where I live. It's basically like a general store. And they always have stacks and stacks of them. And they said, whatever you want, take them, because we just throw them away.
Nice.
So I have like a never-ending supply, like walking distance from my house right now.
That's great.
Which is a problem.
The lumberyard. Someone in the chat was saying that they used reclaimed lumber for their bench too. He reclaimed it from a set of trees outside.
That's good.
Let's see, we had another one in here. Do any of you have plans for Christmas presents? If so, what? This is from, oh boy, I'm going to botch this name. Sturgis Custom? Sturgis Custom?
Where are we at? I'm trying to find it.
In the Q&A on the sheet. Sorry, man.
Sturgis.
Sturgis.
Yeah.
I'm good at busting names.
Sturgis.
Now, I have to say this question is a bad one to ask because we can't really tell you what our Christmas presents are going to be.
I can. I have no plans. None.
I'm making some coasters. I made a bunch out of pallet wood last year, and I made, I don't know, maybe it was 20, 30 sets of coasters, and they all sold.
I remember that. How many people died from those?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, that shot glass, I think you have like the highest body count in the DIY community.
Man. All for Reddit.
All those asbestos pallets that you're using.
Yeah, I only find ones that have like nice leak chemical stains on them, and it leaves a nice funky look to them. So
Yeah, but the good news is 3 people got superpowers after.
That's right. Take your chances.
Yeah, who was it that made a lead shot glass after that?
Oh, that was Dustin Penner. I sent him one of my wood shot glasses, and he cast it so he could get the exact copy of it and cast it out of lead.
Nice.
I think you're onto something. I think like there's certainly just going straight up troll for a video every now and then. Like I think that's not a bad plan.
Yeah.
So when I was considering, so when I anneal like my hammers, if I do engraving on them, I throw them in a bucket of vermiculite. But I was thinking about, because on the bucket it says vermiculite, I wrote it on there. But I was thinking about for the video, just like erasing that and writing asbestos on it. Or like everybody who doesn't know me would watch the video and comment like, "Oh my God, didn't you know that's bad for you?"
It's always funny to drop those little things in there to get people going when it's like obviously a joke, but people just don't pick up on it for some reason.
Yeah, people love to condemn poor decisions. It's like our pastime here in America.
Yeah, people love to jump on that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, so we're getting close to the Christmas season now that Halloween is over. So what is something that is on your Christmas wish list?
I don't know.
Mine's a move. It's not going to happen at Christmas, but we're getting close. Getting close. Still looking at the Bellingham, Washington area. We're hoping before summer still.
You just gonna load everything up into a van and live out of the van for a little while?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
There's lots of people alongside the road in tents. You could do that too.
It's true. It'd be hard to operate, my power tools and stuff.
You'll need a lot of tents.
Yeah. That would be a good video. Welding in a tent.
You know what's something I just got was on my Christmas list, but I was talking with Bart at Comar Project at Maker Faire, and it's called the Airlocker Denailer, and it's basically just a pneumatic nail gun, but instead of shooting nails in, it shoots nails out of a board. So it has like the tip of the gun fits over the nail. So if you pull out a pallet slat and it has the nail sticking out, you put it over the point of the nail and you shoot it out. It has a little piston and shoots the nail out. And I was talking with him there, and he does a bunch of pallet stuff. He's like, "I can't believe you don't have one of those." I was like, "Yeah, I've been meaning to get it. Maybe I'll get it for Christmas." And he ended up sending me one when he got home from Maker Faire.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I want to see one of those.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I set up pallet slats, maybe 6 or 7 of them over my trash can, and just pop 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 pop, and you're done in 10 seconds with a dozen pallet slats.
That's crazy.
Yeah, way better than beating at it with a hammer.
Yeah.
You ever use the Sawzall method? I find that's in the past. That's what I ended up doing. You don't get as much, but it's so fast.
Yeah, I usually don't, just because then you get those tiny nails that you got to pull out.
Yeah.
The heads of the nails.
Yeah.
But what I normally just cut off the runners on either side just with a circular saw, and that gets rid of 2/3 of the nails right there. And then I pull the slats off from the middle and just have to pull those nails out.
Well, that goes right along with Mike Tabar's question. Paul, do you have a preferred method of quickly disassembling pallets?
Yeah.
Booyah.
That's it.
So you don't use the ends with the nail holes?
No, because they're normally cracked anyway, just because the nails going to the ends of the boards, it's less than an inch from the end of the board, so oftentimes it just cracks them. So it's not good wood anyway. So I just cut off an inch or so from the end of each slat and just toss that, and you get all the good wood anyway. And I don't even use a pry bar usually. Once you get down to just the center runner, usually that takes all the structure out of it, and you can just kind of walk the board back and forth and just pull it right out by hand and just kind of manhandle it.
What's the weirdest wood you've come across from a pallet?
Oh, the last one I got some kumaru.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
It's like a Indian blood ritual.
something like that.
What's
It's
kumaru?
similar to teak, kind of, sort of.
Huh.
Yeah, some sort of South American or African exotic.
Crazy.
Yeah, good stuff. I found like 7 or 8 boards, so that's like a $50 pallet right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel for your car, man. I mean, the way you beat it up, I mean, having to run over yourself with it, that was just, I like that clip. That was so perfect.
That element has been through so much. Yeah. I've been driving that thing for 10 years now. Can you believe that?
Holy crap.
Wow.
Are you driving to Workbench Con or are you flying?
I don't know. I'll probably fly. I drove last year.
Yeah.
But that was like 14, 15 hours, I think.
Huh. That's a good drive. Yeah, if my truck were restored, I'd probably drive a lot more places, but I hate flying.
I always drive the Honda Fit, which is my wife's car.
That's what you drove last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fit an X-Carve in the back of that thing too.
That's right. You didn't have to put it together. I like baited my dad into putting my X-Carve together.
That's smart.
Yeah. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, do you use any metal detector for cleaning your pallets? This is from Curt Ziegler.
Yeah, I have like a little metal detector wand sort of thing, and just pass it over each slat just to make sure. Because getting the nails out is pretty easy, and you can pick up on those just visually. But the wires that hold the nails together from the nail gun, those often kind of sneak their way in, and even if you pull the nails out, those are sometimes left behind.
Those things will eat up your planer blades like instantly.
Yep, that by itself is enough to nick your planer blades.
Yeah, that's actually why, like, when I started, I used a lot of pallet wood, and I'm like, for me, I was like, I got to the point where I was like, I feel like the time that I spend getting the wood out of these and replacing planer blades is actually more money than it would just cost me to buy hardwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have
the last time I took apart pallets, I posted it all in my stories. So I wanted to like kind of walk people through it and actually time myself and see how long it took. And I took apart, I think it was almost 10 pallets, and it took, I think, about 2 hours or so.
That's pretty fast.
Pull them apart and clean them up. So
wow.
not bad at all, really. But that's with a little bit of practice.
And people say I do things the slow way.
You do. Jim has asked if you fixed your gas problem, Paul.
I thought I did, but this next video, I don't know. It might pop back up again.
Uh-oh.
You never know.
Do you guys have any Christmas videos that you have in the back of your mind?
I was thinking about doing one, but didn't. I'm not going to.
I've been trying to rack my brain for ideas because last year I made the leg lamp. So the manly version of the leg lamp from A Christmas Story.
That was still like, that's definitely, I haven't even thought about it, but if there's a top 5 videos of all time, like, that would be in it for me, certainly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I can't believe that video didn't do better. It's like, it's one of the best things to ever happen on YouTube.
Yeah, completely died off. I'm hoping maybe it'll pick up again this season, but I'm not.
What did it end up as?
60,000 views or so.
No way. That's not right. You should just figure out how to use epoxy and just repost it and put epoxy in the keywords. It'll explode.
Just cast a whole leg out of epoxy.
Just don't even, just literally repost the video and put epoxy in the title and it will go viral.
Yeah. I almost want to just like take the video down and then repost it as if it's a new video.
You should. I mean, that thing, there's no reason that thing shouldn't have, like, just I don't know. That's like one of the mysteries that, like, if you get questions answered when you die, that's going to be one of them for me. Like, why didn't Paul Jackman's leg lamp video succeed?
I know. 63,000 views sitting there right now.
Make Brooklyn just said, just call it the Resin River leg.
There you go. Pallet wood resin river leg. Yep. 10 million views.
Yep.
DIY.
DIY. Live edge.
Rustics. Farmhouse.
Man, that thing pulled in like millions of views on Facebook.
Facebook gets more views. Like the file handles that I did, like I probably got like 20 emails from like such and such media productions, the like Facebook shop and reposters, and like they all shared it. And like I think the ones on Facebook they all have like 1 million plus views, which is, I think this one's right now I'm at like 900,000 on it. So the Facebook videos get so much more views than the YouTube stuff. I just think people's attention spans are getting like exponentially shorter every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wonder like what it's going to be like in like 5 years. It's going to like our videos are going to be condensed down into just like seizures, like just like 4,000 frames per second.
It's just a picture at that point.
Yeah, it's just going to revert back.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nice.
And like especially even the Instagram videos are like it's like too much for me. Like I watch them like when you scroll down your Explore page.
And it's like, oh, is it done yet?
No, I mean like not that they're too long. Like they're too fast. I don't know. It's that instant gratification. Like I want to learn everything, but I want to learn it in 7 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, Curt Ziegler said my favorite Paul was the 10 hours of Adirondack chair in the river.
That was a good one.
I watched the whole thing
twice.
The funny thing is that I believe you.
I let it play in the background in the shop.
You're just like sitting there waiting for me to come up and sit in the chair.
I had to go to the bathroom like 17 times.
Imagine working in that shop. Like you would hear that every single second of the day, that river just running behind the shop. You couldn't turn it off.
There was some band, I can't remember who it was, but they released like a 10-hour album of complete silence on Spotify.
Yeah.
And like they just told all their fans to play it 24/7. So they like just racked up the royalties and stuff. That was pretty clever. Yeah.
Well, we don't have a creators photo challenge this week because Will is gone, so we're going to bump that off one more week. So you guys have 1 week left to get in your picture for creators photo challenge, and it is the challenge is cutting edge. So whether it is technology or a knife edge or a plane blade or sharpening or whatever you want, put a picture on Instagram with the hashtag creators photo challenge, and you will be put in the drawing or the choosing, the judging. And right now there's only 3 or 4 in there, so pretty good chances right now. So get that in before next week, and we will pick that then. Now we have 2 jokes this week in honor of Paul being here, and the first one was one that I came across and had to use. It was I used to work in a shoe recycling shop. It was a soul-destroying job.
Nice.
But then Tracy Keaton put on there, why do blondes have TGIF written on their shoes? Toes go in first.
Boo. I actually like Jim's. Jim says, where did it go? If a knight in Prague dons his armor, does that mean the check is in the mail?
Yes.
That's good. That's a good one.
If you have your joke and you'd like us to tell it, go ahead and send it to one of us. And if it's bad enough, we'll put it on air.
I got a good one.
Okay.
What's that?
I might have told you this one before. Why did the boy drop his ice cream cone?
What's that?
because he was hit by a truck.
That's good.
Yes, that is good.
So yeah, I was thinking like, I'm not sure, but so I don't know if you guys saw the one that I did last year for Christmas. I did like the horseshoe Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Weld together. That's super easy. If anybody wants to like try welding for the first time, that's a really easy project to do. But I was thinking maybe like every Christmas I just make a new ornament for it, because in the video I made an ornament for it. So I mean, it'd be a short, simple, quick video, but I don't know, it's something.
Make it out of epoxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I have nothing else to talk about. I don't know about you guys.
Let's get into what's inspiring us. What are we watching or reading? Paul, what you got?
I'm going to recommend Wobie Design. He's a guy on Instagram and YouTube, and he makes stuff out of recycled skateboards. And there's a lot of guys doing that, but he's got kind of a cool special spin on what he's doing, and his videos are really cool. And I dig the where his video editing style is going.
Huh.
So his name is
he only has 9,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He deserves way more than that. So
looking forward to digging into that.
Yeah, he's only got, I don't know, 6-7 videos or something on his channel, but they're all top notch. And he made a sheet of plywood out of skateboards for the plywood challenge that was going on this year.
Cool.
So lots of cutting pieces of wood apart and gluing them back together. So stuff that I quite enjoy.
That was really cool. I'm going to have to dig into that. Well, for me, I have to go with Alan Pan, significantly advanced, larger YouTube channel, but I love his stuff. He always comes up with weird and wacky, usually anime-inspired items like a plasma knife and things of that nature that are technically cool and kind of sciencey and a lot of fun. But this week he put out a video on a 4D chessboard. And it was kind of this mind-blowing thing because, you know, there's 2D chess, which is regular chess, and then 3D chess, which is chessboards stacked on top of each other, so you can move in 3 dimensions. And then there's 4D chess, and it's
and you each get a sword and fight to the death.
Yes, and so you can it's like 3D chessboards, but several of them that you then can move around, and it is absolutely mind-blowing and right up my alley. I know it's so cool. But they were saying it took them 8 hours.
It's just a Rubik's cube.
Yeah. It took them 8 hours to play a single game on it because every move you have to think through completely, and it was absolutely mind blowing.
So they invented Monopoly.
I
want to make one now, so we'll see. What about you, Zach? What you got?
So I'm going to go with one of my favorites on Instagram. So he goes by _Johnny Rocker, JONNY Rocker. He also he has a line of furniture called Helsing Furniture, and it's this super cool. I mean, it looks exactly like it sounds. It's like, I don't know if you guys can. Where's it go? Oh. There's like more reflection.
Zach is trying to show us on his phone on the camera.
It's like this actual. He makes like actually looks like props from like vampire movies, but furniture, and it's like very well made, really cool stuff. So I've been talking to him a bit lately, and he he makes amazing stuff. So on Instagram, it's _Johnny Rocker or also Helsing Furniture. Very cool stuff. So that's my pick of the week.
Very cool.
Oh, I'll see if I can get a link to post.
What's your favorite product of the week?
Hold on, let me find this link really quick. I can't multitask.
Well, then I'll go. My favorite product of the week is the Stanley 112, which is kind of like a Stanley 80, which is kind of like a Stanley 82, which is kind of like a card scraper and a jig. The Stanley 112 is a cabinet scraper, but it is a much larger cabinet scraper with an adjustable angle on the iron, a wooden handle, and just beautifully made, and a lot of fun. But I've been enjoying it because I've been scraping off the table, and I really wish I had this back when I was scraping the flooring upstairs. It would have saved a good chunk of time, and it is my new favorite tool.
Yeah, I was wondering how you're going to kind of get that epoxy flush with the tabletop.
Yeah, the epoxy is a pain to do with any sharp edge. So if you're doing it with a plane, or any like a power planer, it just gums everything up. And if you're doing it with a sander, it gums up the belt sander quickly. Whereas with a card scraper, you can actually march through epoxy very efficiently. I find it faster to do it with the scraper than it is with the belt sander. So a very useful tool. Or anytime you're cleaning up a top, if you just have spots of epoxy, the card scraper is the fastest way to clean it off.
Yeah, I might have to try that out because usually I just slap like a 60 grit sanding belt on the belt sander.
Yeah, then you get all that epoxy dust in the air.
Yeah,
and then the card scrapers get
quick.
Beautiful white curls that come off. They're just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm having.
I guess it's probably similar to when you get a nice cut on the lathe when you're turning epoxy. Kind of get the ribbons.
Very similar, but a little lighter and fluffier.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything, Zach?
Yes, I am going to. I've been. One of the things that's strange, you don't really realize how loud forges are because it's like a white noise. Just like it's like, but all day, like it's super loud, and like I don't realize how loud like my music and stuff is until I turn it off. So, I've been trying to essentially, not go deaf before I turn 40. So, my pick this week is the IsoTunes earbuds, the Bluetooth earbuds that I use. Oops, I should have put a link there. So
I've thought about getting a pair of those.
I like them a lot. They have a couple of different models. I actually like. They have like their IsoTunes Pro, which are their fancy ones. They just came out with the IsoTunes Extra, which is like the base model with extra battery, and that's my favorite. I don't like the little ear clippy things that go behind your ear. I don't care for those. So I just like the plug-in ones. My favorite thing about them, obviously I have like the big ear muffs out in my shop. Yes, Paul's got a set right there. But I set them down and I lose them. Anything I can set down in my shop will take me at least 5 minutes to find when I need it. So I like the little earbuds are magnetic on the back, so they just stick together around your neck, so I don't lose them.
Did you realize that when you take those off and stick the magnets together, that actually pauses your music?
No, I have.
It took me so long to realize that. So when you put the magnets together, it automatically detects that, and it'll pause your music. And then when you pull them apart again, it'll start playing it again.
Oh my God. I did not know that.
Right?
The world is a new place.
Because I know I wear the Pros in the shop every single day, and I got the Extras, and I was using those when Dylan and Molly were here in my shop from Woodbrew, if anybody doesn't know them, because it's nice to have the thing that sits around your neck because if you're taking them in and out all the time, because you have a place to put them. And I would pause my music when I took them out of my ears, and then I put it back in my ears, and it was already playing again. And I was like, what's going on here? My headphones have been playing music this whole time that they were out of my ears, but it was just because I had taken the magnets apart that it started the music up again.
That's crazy. I did not know that. Huh.
There you go. That's my sales pitch.
All right.
Cool. Well, what about you, Paul? What's your favorite tool of the week?
I'm going to recommend the Arbortech Turbo Plane this week. It's a power carving disc that fits on your angle grinder. So it's just an angle grinder attachment. And it's a 3.5 inch, maybe 4 inch disc, and it's got 3 carbide cutters on it. So it's what you see whenever I'm carving Like the leg lamp was carved completely with that thing.
Nobody saw that.
I know nobody saw that one. What's something the leg table that I made? No, nobody saw that one either. The bowl that I'm working on now, that's what I use to power carve. The lip of the bowl is kind of like a ripple shape, so it
Yeah,
looks
that's
like
pretty.
a flower
I was wondering how you did that.
Yeah, so that was all just done with the turbo plane, and it was originally designed to carve out chair seats, so kind of to dish out the butt of the chair. And it's got the carbide cutters on the face of it, but the edge of it is just metal. So if you run the edge of it up against something, it won't cut it. So you can use it for template stuff and run the edge up against the template and kind of carve down from there. But it's such a versatile. That's my favorite Arbortech product, just because you can use it for so much stuff.
What's the name of that one? Because I have just I think just the turbo plane or whatever.
The turbo plane is the face cutting one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I used to cut out the butt section for that stool I did a while ago.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about that and thinking, maybe I should get one of those this week. So I was sculpting the live edge on the table, and I had to go through a good chunk of material.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there with a card scraper going down an inch thick material with a card scraper.
Yeah.
Thinking a turbo plane would be a lot faster.
Yeah, so I had to use it. The only I used it on that stool, and then like if anybody follows my Instagram stories, like maybe a month ago, somebody came over and they wanted me to like lighten up the weight on their cricket bats, so I used it on that, and it took me a bit, but like you can actually get a fairly decent I mean, it still needs sanding, but you can get a pretty fine finish on it. I mean, the first time I didn't get a very fine finish, but if you kind of learn how to finesse it, you can actually. I think I went straight to like 120 grit after using that thing. I was kind of blown away.
Yeah, the key is to cut along the direction of the grain.
Yeah. Yep.
And it just pulls out these chips. It's amazing, and it's so much better than like the abrasive discs that you see, like the colored ones, the blue and green.
Yeah,
whatever they are.
The flap discs.
Yeah, those, or like the ones with like gnarly teeth on them. I don't know what they're called.
Those things are great for metal, but wood. And the thing, so here's something else that this is dumb, and it's something that like I should have learned years ago. But I was talking with Jeff Fader a while ago, and somehow it came up. He's like, if you use sand, you can never use it on wood after that. And like, it should be very obvious, but I didn't realize that. So the thing is like you use metal and it kind of embeds itself in the sandpaper. And then when you go to use it on wood, it just burns the wood. And I've made, I don't know, probably 15 handles on the same piece, thing, a 40 grit belt on my belt grinder. And I haven't used it on metal, and there's no burning yet, which is incredible. Like, because that was an issue I used to have all the time. I always thought the belt was just done when it started burning the wood, but it was because I'd previously used it for metal, and then it gets hot and burns the wood. So yeah, don't if you use something on metal, don't use it on wood afterwards.
Well, it's the same thing with carving. Is if you carve and then use sandpaper to clean it up, don't take the carving tool back to the wood, because you will leave there's tiny bits of grit in there, the silica from the sandpaper, that will actually dull up your blade quicker.
Huh. Yeah. So there you have it.
Cool. Well, I think we have squandered enough time for the people listening. I do want to say a huge thank you to everyone who came on the live chat. If you want to join us there Thursday on Creators Collective YouTube channel, you can join us in the live, have your questions answered on air. And I want to say a huge thank you to Paul Jackman for coming on. If you want to find out his stuff, go to Jackman Works on YouTube, Instagram. And do you have any place you want to shout out?
No, everywhere Jackman Works, wherever you want to find me.
Wherever the cool people are, you will find Jackman Works.
Or in Washington, D.C., if you're lucky enough.
Or unlucky.
Or unlucky. Find me at a pallet stash near you.
Yes. Cool. I think that'll about do it for this week. So thank you for everyone who came on. And until next time, have a wonderful day.
See you later.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Cool.